Freakier Friday is the sequel 20-some years later to Freaky Friday. That was itself a remake of an earlier film, strangely enough also called Freaky Friday, but we're not talking about that here. It's not the same universe, as it were. This was directed by Nisha Ganatra and written by Jordan Weiss, who developed the story alongside Elise Hollander. And I didn't know this whole thing was based on a book, again weirdly enough, called Freaky Friday by Mary Rogers. We have Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan reprising their roles of Tess and Anna respectively, but this time they're joined by Julia Butters, Sophia Hammonds, and Manny Jacinto, who will always be Jason Mendoza. I mean, John Yu, the monk, honest. But why am I talking about this now? Because this is not a Christmas film. I looked at my slate. There's a lot of stuff that I've been releasing this month and still to come that is quite heavy. It's quite dark material, and I want to give people a bit of a release around Christmas. Like, it's meant to be the season of goodwill and fun and, you know, lifting your spirits, not, oh, let's talk about awful things. So I thought we'd all have a break, and it's kind of what my partner and I did as well. Like, we've watched a lot of heavy stuff. Should we watch Freaky Friday? Yeah. But I don't have a massive attachment to the original. Like, I really enjoy Jamie Lee Curtis's work pretty much ever since Halloween. And everything that she's been in, even if it's not great, looking at you, Borderlands, she just, even if she's not, like, firing on all cylinders, she's still eminently watchable. Lindsay Lohan has had some ups and downs in her career. Like, when she was a kid actor, you know, she was getting great roles, she was enjoying it, went a bit off the rails, as often happens, unfortunately, but has come back very strong, and she's absolutely enjoying herself here. You can feel the energy coming off the screen. Whilst I'm not going to stand there and say, or sit here and say, this is an amazing film, it's, you know, high cinema or anything like that, it does what it needs to do. It brings us back into where are these characters now, what's going on in their lives, and yes, let's have something similar, but not the same as what happened last time. And I think that's one of the greatest things in this film's credit. It could have easily just rehashed. It could have had Lily and Harper swapping bodies, and then Tess and Anna were like, oh no, we've got to help them through it. Could have done that. Would have been the easiest way out. They could have had Tess and Anna swap again, or just interchange between who's swapping over, but we've already seen Tess and Anna in each other's bodies, as it were, so we don't need to see that again. Having it where the older generation and the newer generation swap makes perfect sense. And the fact that they have Rosalind Chow appear, but it's not her. There's a lot of moments like that where it's like, this is going to go the way, oh no, it isn't. You're expecting it to be a repeat, and they make sure to say, yes, we know, that's what you're expecting, but we're not doing that. I mean, I say there's a few, I can only think of that one, and at the end, with, you know, the coming on the stage and it actually not being her miming, it's like, no, Harper, she can play guitar better. There was this whole, as I say, just flipping expectations, just going, this is what you're thinking it's going to be. Because we've seen a lot of the Disney remakes, we've seen a lot of legacy sequels that just don't do anything new, that don't do anything interesting. But this decides to make some weird and interesting and right choices, I would argue. Like I say, it's not high cinema, it's nothing more than a bit of fluff for, what, just under a couple of hours? But if you're looking for something upbeat, but you don't want, you know, the classic Christmas films, I don't think this is a bad shout. I do want to quickly finish, though, with some accent stuff, because I was pretty sure that Manny Jacinto was not British, but he does okay here. There's moments where it's not the whole, like, 1930s transatlantic accent, but there's moments where it slips a little, but it makes sense for someone who's maybe lived abroad for a while. So I did double check, and no, he's Canadian-Filipino. Like, there is no British sort of qualities to him. But I think he did pretty well. I mean, yeah, again, it's not perfect, but it was good enough to make me just double check. But like I say, this is definitely some new fluff, if you will, for Christmas. It's not a Christmas film, but if you don't want the standards, you can't go wrong with this. And like I say, this is the sort of Christmas period, or, you know, again, whatever you celebrate or choose not to celebrate, just take time to rest, because a lot of things will be closing. You know, you might have time off work, school, whatever. So take the time to just rest, recuperate, and come into 2026 stronger, because we always keep saying it might not get worse, but it keeps doing it. So let's get prepared for that. That's such a hopeful note to end on. But before I bring your spirits down further, thank you for watching, and take care.